Happy Feet 2 is a 2011 animated jukebox musical comedy film directed and co-written by George Miller. It is the sequel to the 2006 film Happy Feet. Elijah Wood, Robin Williams, Hugo Weaving, Magda Szubanski and Anthony LaPaglia reprise their roles from the first film, with Common, Alicia Moore, Pink, Hank Azaria, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Sofia Vergara, and Richard Carter joining the cast. In the film, young penguin Eric, the son of Mumble and Gloria, who is reluctant to dance, runs away from home and encounters the mighty Sven, a tufted puffin. When the penguins are trapped by a giant wall of ice and snow, they must save Antarctica. An international co-production between the United States and Australia, Happy Feet 2 was released in North American theaters on November 18, 2011, and in Australia on December 26. The film received mixed reviews, and underperformed at the box office, grossing $150 million against its $135 million budget. This resulted in the closure of Miller's Dr. D Studios, making this their only animated film. Plot: after the events of the first film, Eric, the son of Mumble and Gloria, cannot dance like the other penguins of Emperor Land. He and his friends Bo and Atticus follow one of Mumble's friends, Ramon, the leader of the Amigos, to Adelaide Land. There, they meet its leader, the flying penguin con artist Sven, who, after surviving the loss of his native fishing grounds because of his ability to fly, partnered with Mumble's friend Lovelace, who was fired from his job as guru. They tell the others that they were rescued by humans but fled to Antarctica after believing that they would be eaten. There, Sven performs his first miracles by revealing moss to the locals and using his power of Sven Think to help Ramon to find his potential mate Carmen, who is uninterested. Mumble finds the kids and tells them to return to Emperor Land, with encouragement from Sven. Meanwhile, Will, an adventurous and existentialist krill, is determined to discover life beyond the swarm, with his best friend, Bill, following him to ensure his safety. After being separated from the swarm, they realize that they are at the bottom of the food chain, and Will tries to move up, with Bill reluctantly joining him. Mumble tells Eric that he is unique and will one day find his calling, but he is still enthralled with Sven. While trying to cross an ice bridge, Brian the elephant seal and his two sons refuse to let the penguins pass. An argument results with Brian falling off the bridge and being trapped, but Mumble lures a leopard seal to chase him into the ice, freeing Brian, and earning his respect. However, Eric attributes the rescue to his attempt to use Sven Think, much to Mumble's dismay. On returning to Emperor Land, the penguins discover that a large iceberg has trapped the Emperor penguins in a pit surrounded by ice walls. While Mumble, Eric, and Atticus deliver their supply of fish to the stranded penguins, Bo returns to Adelaide Land to seek help. The next morning, a large flock of skua attack the Emperor penguins, and although Noah the Elder encourages them to fight back, all hope seems lost until Bo returns with Sven, who begins a cooperative effort to feed the Emperor penguins by hunting fish. The humans who rescued Sven and Lovelace return to Antarctica to help, but a blizzard causes them to flee. Eric urges Sven to teach the penguins how to fly, but Sven reveals that he is not really a penguin, but a tufted puffin. Mumble begins to tap dance, leading the penguins in a dance that weakens the ice, but several chunks break loose, sending Bo, Atticus and several other penguins into the crevice. Ramon realizes that Carmen is trapped and jumps down to be with her, finally winning her love. Sven proves himself as a worthy dancer and leads the Adelaides in a dance while Eric and Mumble go to seek Brian's help. Meanwhile, a reformed Will reunites with Bill and their flock, and Bill reveals that they are now legends because of their journey. Mumble and Eric arrive at Elephant Seal Beach, where Brian is in the middle of a dominance fight. Mumble pleads for help, but Brian declines because of his beach master duties. Using his singing abilities, Eric praises Mumble for his bravery and condemns Brian for refusing to help after Mumble rescued him. The elephant seals travel en masse to Emperor Land, where Mumble, Gloria, Eric, the Emperor penguins, the elephant seals, Will, Bill, Their krill swarm and Sven work together to destroy the iceberg, after which Mumble and Eric reunite with Gloria. Voice cast: Robin Williams, who voiced Ramon and Lovelace, at the film's Australian premiere in Sydney with a Lovelace plush. Ava Akers as Eric, Gloria, and Mumble's only son, and Memphis and Norma Jean's grandson. 5. His singing voice is provided by E.G. Daly, who voiced Baby Mumble in the original film. Elijah Wood as Mumble, Gloria's husband, and Eric's father. Robin Williams as Ramon and Lovelace, Mumble's friends. Ramon is a laid-back Adelaide penguin who speaks with a Spanish accent, and Lovelace is a spiritual rock hopper penguin and Sven's partner. Williams is also the film's narrator. This was his last animated feature before his death in 2014. Alicia Moore, Pink, as Gloria, Mumble's wife, and Eric's mother. Alicia Moore replaces Brittany Murphy, who died in 2009. Maybite Campbell as Bodiciabo, Miss Viola's daughter and Eric's friend. Her singing voice is provided by E.G. Daly. Benjamin Lil Peanut Flores Jr. as Atticus, Seymour's son, and Eric's friend. Common as Seymour, Atticus's father. Common replaces Fat Joe. Magda Subinsky as Miss Viola, Bo's mother. Hugo Weaving as Noah the Elder, Emperor Land's mayor and the leader of its Council of Elders. 6. Brad Pitt as Will the Krill. 7. Matt Damon as Bill the Krill. 7. Sofia Vergara as Carmen, Ramon's love interest. 8. Richard Carter as Brian the Beachmaster. Anthony LaPaglia as Alpha Skua. 9. Hank Azaria as the mighty Svantana tufted puffin who speaks in a Scandinavian accent and is a con artist. He is also the ruler of Adelaide Land. Jay Sloper and Oscar Beard as Wiener Pups. Danny Mann as Brokebeak. Carlos Elizraquai, Johnny A. Sanchez, Lombardo Boyar, and Jeffrey Garcia as Nestor, Raul, Lombardo and Ronaldo, respectively, Ramon's Adelaide penguin group called the Amigos, who speak in thick Spanish accents. Lee Perry as Francesco, Wayne the Challenger, Egbert, and Leopard Seal. Roger Narayan as an Indian penguin. Production: Director George Miller at the film's Australian premiere in Sydney. Elijah Wood, Robin Williams, Magda Subinsky, and Hugo Weaving reprised their previous roles as Mumble, Ramon, Lovelace, Ms. Viola and Noah. Nicole Kidman and Hugh Jackman make a brief cameo as Norma Jean and Memphis. Also returning for the film are Carlos Elizraquai, Johnny A. Sanchez, Lombardo Boyar, and Jeffrey Garcia as Nestor, Lombardo, Raul, and Ronaldo, respectively. 11. Fat Joe was replaced by Common as Seymour. Brittany Murphy, who originally voiced Mumble's love interest Gloria, was set to reprise her role and scheduled to begin recording sometime in 2010-12 but died from pneumonia on December 20, 2009. Steve Irwin, who voiced Trev the elephant seal and an albatross, died of a stingray injury on September 4, 2006. Pink replaced Murphy. Pink had already contributed a song Tell Me Something Good to the soundtrack of the first film. Brad Pitt and Matt Damon voiced the tiny krill, Will and Bill. 13-14 Hank Azaria also signed on to voice the mighty Sven. 15 E.G. Daly, who played young Mumble in the previous film, played the vocals for Mumble's choreophobic son Eric and the daughter of Miss Viola, Boadicea, as well as additional voices. Sofia Vergara appears in the film as a new character, Carmen. 16 There is a live-action scene in the movie, as was in Happy Feet. 17 Mitchell Hicks signed up as the movie's choreographer. 18. Release. Theatrical. The film was released along with the Looney Tunes short titled I Taught a Putty Tat. 19. Home media. The DVD, Blu-ray and 3D Blu-ray releases of Happy Feet 2 were released on March 13, 2012, from Warner Home Video. 20. Reception. Box office. The film grossed $64 million in the United States, along with $86 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $150.4 million. 4. Produced on a budget of $135 million. 3. The film ended up losing around $40 million for the studio. 21. In its opening weekend, Happy Feet 2 earned $21,237,068 while playing on 3,606 screens. 4. This was barely half of the $41,533,432 that the first Happy Feet made in its opening weekend in November 2006. Approximately 50% of Happy Feet 2's box office take came from the 2,825 screens that showed it in 3D. 22. Thus, when adjusted for ticket price inflation, Happy Feet 2 achieved less than 45% of the attendance figures of its predecessor. Major box office prediction websites were almost unanimously predicting an opening weekend of $35 million, $45 million, so Happy Feet 2's box office performance was underwhelming. Among 2011's animated films, Happy Feet 2's opening weekend ranks 8th. Kurt Orzek of the Vancouver Sun reported that due to the poor performance of Happy Feet 2, 600 of the 700 employees at the Sydney-based Dr. D Studios, the digital production studio behind the animated movie, have reportedly received their walking papers. 23-24. Critical response. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 45% of 121 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 5.50/10. The website's consensus reads, "The animation is as eye-popping as ever, but Happy Feet 2's narrative is too noisily incoherent to recapture the Oscar-winning charm of its predecessor." 25. On Metacritic, the film has a score of 50 out of 100 based on reviews from 35 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 26 audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B+ on a scale of A+ to F. 27. Richard Corliss of Time gave the film a positive review and said that Miller is not content to duplicate the pleasures of his first Penguin film, he dares to go bigger, deeper, higher, happier. 28. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film 2.5 stars out of 4. He wrote, "The animation is bright and attractive, the music gives the characters something to do, but the movie has too much dialogue in the areas of philosophy and analysis." 29. British newspaper The Telegraph named Happy Feet 2 one of the 10 worst films of 2011, saying, "Happy Feet 2 is an appalling 3D animated sequel about a colony of all singin', all dancin', all infuriatin' penguins." 30. Accolades. Award category recipient result. Central Ohio Film Critics Association Awards Actor of the Year Brad Pitt, also for The Tree of Life and Moneyball, nominated. Houston Film Critics Society Awards Best Animated Film nominated. San Diego Film Critics Society Awards Best Animated Film nominated. Satellite Awards Best Original Song Bridge of Light by Pink and Billy Mann nominated. Video game. Happy Feet 2, the video game, released on November 8, 2011, was developed by KMM Games for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Wii. WayForward Technologies developed the Nintendo 3DS and Nintendo DS versions. 31 Published by Warner Bros. Soundtrack. Main article, Happy Feet 2, Soundtrack. The soundtrack album for the film was released by Watertower Music on CD on November 21, 2011, and on iTunes on November 15, 2011. 32 Unlike the previous film's 2 album releases, one for its songs and one for its score, both the songs and John Powell's score are included on this album. The songs Happy Feet 2 opening medley, Bridge of Light and Under Pressure / Rhythm Nation are led by Pink, who lends her vocals to the character Gloria, taking the place of Brittany Murphy from the first film. The deluxe edition of the album contains an additional 5 songs performed by Ozomatli. These and other songs can also be found on the soundtrack for the video game, which was released on iTunes on November 8, 2011. Possible sequel. When director George Miller was asked if he had any plans for Happy Feet 3, he replied 33. If you put a gun to my head and said, you have to come up with a story for Happy Feet 3, I'd say shoot me. I would have no idea. I really would have no idea. The stories creep up on you. You just have to allow the stories to come, and then they get in like little earworms in your head and they won't go away. If that happens and we've got the energy, we'll do a third one. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's the only way you can do it. It has to be authentic. I really wanted to make this film better than the first one. Otherwise, at my age, what's the point? You really want to make it better. If something comes up that's really exciting and I can convey that enthusiasm to other people, then there would be a third one. Elijah Jordan Wood, born January 28, 1981, is an American actor and producer. A prominent child actor of the 1990s and a prolific figure in major studio features of the early 2000s, his accolades include 2 Saturn Awards and a Screen Actors Guild Award, in addition to a nomination for a Daytime Emmy Award. Wood made his film debut with a minor part in Back to the Future Part 2, 1989, at the age of 8 and achieved recognition in the early 1990s as a child actor with roles such as Avalon, 1990, Forever Young, 1992, The Good Son, 1993, and The Adventures of Huck Finn, 1993. As a teenager, he starred in the films North, 1994, The War, 1994, Flipper, 1996, The Ice Storm, 1997, Deep Impact, 1998, and The Faculty, 1998. Wood achieved international fame in the early 2000s for playing the Hobbit Frodo Baggins in Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings film trilogy, 2001 to 2003, based on the classic fantasy novel of the same name by English author J.R.R. Tolkien. As an adult, Wood appeared in a wide range of films, including Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, 2004, Sin City, 2005, and I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, 2017. He has had voice roles in projects such as Happy Feet, 2006, The Legend of Spyro, 2006 to 2008, 9, 2009, Tron, Uprising, 2012 to 2013, and Over the Garden Wall, 2014. On television, Wood starred in the series Wilfred, 2011 to 2014, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, 2016 to 2017, and Yellow Jackets, 2023 to 2025. Wood founded the record label Simeon Records in 2005, which was dissolved in 2015. He directed the 2007 music video Energy for the Apples in Stereo. In 2010, Wood co-founded a film production company for horror films, The Woodshed, renamed Spectrevision in 2013. Wood is a disc jockey, and has toured globally with his friend Zach Cowie as the duo Wooden Wisdom. Early life. Wood was born in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, on January 28, 1981 to Debbie, née Krause, and Warren Wood, who operated a delicatessen together. 2 He is of English, Danish, 3 Irish, and German ancestry, and was raised Catholic. 4, 5, 6 He has an older brother named Zachariah, 7, and a younger sister named Hannah. At age 7, Wood began modeling and taking piano lessons in his hometown. 8, 9 In elementary school, he appeared in The Sound of Music and played the title character in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. He served as a choirboy in a production of See How They Run. Wood's parents sold their delicatessen in 1989 and the family, without his father, moved to Los Angeles to allow him to pursue an acting career. They divorced when he was 15. 10. Career. 1988 to 1999, early work. Wood modeled and appeared in local commercials. His first appearance was in the music video for Paula Abdul's Forever Your Girl, directed by David Fincher. This was followed by a pivotal role in the made-for-TV film, Child in the Night, and a minor role in Back to the Future Part 2, as a boy from a futuristic 2015 who teases Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox, for playing an arcade game because you have to use your hands. 9-year-old Wood auditioned for a role in Kindergarten Cop, but was told by director Yvonne Reitman that his performance was not believable, which Wood later said was a harsh thing to say to a 9-year-old. 12. Playing Aidan Quinn's son in Avalon garnered professional attention for Wood. The film received widespread critical acclaim and was nominated for 4 Academy Awards. 13. A small part in Richard Gere's Internal Affairs was followed by the role of a boy who brings estranged couple Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson back together in Paradise, 1991. In 1992, Wood co-starred with Mel Gibson and Jamie Lee Curtis in Forever Young 14 and with Joseph Mazzello in Radio Flyer. 15. In 1993, Wood played the title character in Disney's adaptation of Mark Twain's novel, The Adventures of Huck Finn, and co-starred with Macaulay Culkin in the psychological thriller The Good Son. The following year, he starred in The War, alongside Kevin Costner. Although the film received mostly negative reviews, Wood's performance earned praise. 1617 Roger Ebert's review of the film praised Wood highly, stating that Wood has emerged, I believe, as the most talented actor, in his age group, in Hollywood history. 18. Wood's title role opposite Bruce Willis in the Robert Reiner film North, 1994, was followed by a Super Bowl commercial for Lay's wavy potato chips, with Dan Quayle. 19. In 1995, Wood appeared in the music video for the Cranberries' Ridiculous Thoughts. 20 played the lead role in Flipper, and co-starred in Ang Lee's critically acclaimed The Ice Storm. 21. In 1996, he guest starred in the episode entitled The True Test in Homicide, Life on the Street. In 1997, Wood played Jack the Artful Dodger Dawkins in a made-for-TV adaptation of Oliver Twist, alongside Richard Dreyfuss. 22. The following year, he had a leading role in the sci-fi disaster film Deep Impact, and a starring role in The Faculty, directed by Robert Rodriguez. In 1999, Wood played a suburban white teenager who affects hip-hop lingo in James Chubak's Black and White, and a junior hitman in Chain of Fools. 23. 1999 to 2003, The Lord of the Rings. Further information, production of the Lord of the Rings film series. After the lengthy filming of Lord of the Rings, Jackson gave Wood one of the One Ring props, artist's impression shown, used on the set. 24. Wood played Frodo Baggins in the 2001 The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, the first installment of Peter Jackson's adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's multi-volume novel. Wood was a fan of The Hobbit. 25 and he sent in an audition tape of himself dressed as Frodo, reading lines from the novel. 26 He was selected from 150 actors who auditioned. 27 Wood was the first actor to be cast. 28 This gave Wood top billing, alongside a cast full of stars. 29 30 31 The Lord of the Rings trilogy was filmed in New Zealand, principal photography took over a year, and pickup shooting continued annually for the next 4 years. 32 33 Before the cast left the country, Jackson gave Wood 2 gifts, one of the One Ring props used on the set and Sting, Frodo's sword. He was also given a pair of prosthetic hobbit feet of the type worn during filming. 24. In 2002, Wood lent his voice to the DTV release of The Adventures of Tom Thumb and Thumbelina. Later that year, the second part of Peter Jackson's trilogy was released, titled The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. In 2003, Wood starred in the DTV film All I Want and cameoed as the guy in Spy Kids 3D, Game Over. The concluding chapter of the Rings trilogy, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King was released in December of that year. 34. 2004, present. Wood in February 2006. Wood's first role following his Lord of the Rings success was in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, 2004, in which he played Patrick, an unscrupulous lab technician who pursues Kate Winslet. The film received the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay in 2005. He next played the silent serial killer Kevin in Robert Rodriguez's adaptation of Frank Miller's comic book series, Sin City, 2005. Wood's audition for the role only consisted of staring at a film camera while passages from the graphic novel were read. 35 On May 12, 2005, Wood hosted MTV Presents, the Next Generation Xbox revealed for the launch of the Xbox 360 video game console. 36. In Everything Is Illuminated, 2005, Wood starred as a young Jewish American man on a quest to find the woman who saved his grandfather during World War II. It was based on the novel of the same name by Jonathan Safran Foer. In Green Street, also 2005, he played an American college student who joins a violent British football firm. Both had limited release but were critically acclaimed. 37-38. Wood shot a small part in Paris, Jet Aim, 2006, which consists of 18 5-minute sections, each directed by a different director. Wood's section, called Quartier de la Madeleine, was directed by Vincenzo Natali. The film played at the Cannes Film Festival and the Toronto International Film Festival. 39. In George Miller's animated musical Happy Feet, 2006, Wood provided the voice of Mumble, a penguin who can tap dance, but not sing. 40 Happy Feet grossed over $380 million worldwide, and received both the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature and the BAFTA Award for Best Animated Film. Wood reprised his role for the film's sequel, Happy Feet 2, 2011. 41. At the 2011 San Diego Comic-Con. Also in 2006, he was part of the ensemble cast of Emilio Estevez's drama Bobby, a fictionalized account of the hours leading up to the June 5, 1968, shooting of U.S. Senator Robert F. Kennedy. In the film, Wood marries Lindsay Lohan's character in order to avoid being drafted for the Vietnam War. 42 Bobby screened in competition at the Venice Film Festival. Wood, along with his co-stars, received a nomination for the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture. 43. Later that year, Wood hosted the television special Saving a Species, The Great Penguin Rescue for Discovery Kids. 44. He received a nomination for the Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Performer in Children's Programming. 45. That same year, it was announced that Wood was set to star in The Passenger, a biographical film about singer Iggy Pop. 46. However, the project failed to come to fruition after years in development. 47. Wood has provided voiceovers for video games, including the voice of Spyro the Dragon in the Legend of Spyro game trilogy, 2006 to 2008, 48, as well as reprising Mumble in the game version of Happy Feet, 2006 to 2011. 49. On January 4, 2007, Wood joined Screen Actors Guild President Alan Rosenberg in a live telecast to announce the nominees for the 13th Annual Screen Actors Guild Awards. 50. Later that year, he starred in Day Zero, a drama about conscription in the United States, which had its debut at the Tribeca Film Festival. 51. In The Oxford Murders, 2008, a film adaptation of the novel of the same name by Guillermo Martinez, Wood played a graduate student who investigates a series of bizarre, mathematically based murders in Oxford. 52. The following year, he voiced the lead in the animated feature film 9, which was produced by Tim Burton. 53. Wood DJing at the Box.com launch party in 2012. Wood's first starring television role came in the FX series, Wilfred, where he played Ryan Newman, who is described as an introverted and troubled young man struggling unsuccessfully to make his way in the world until he forms a unique friendship with Wilfred, his neighbor's canine pet. 54. The pilot episode was shot in the summer of 2010. 55, and the series lasted 4 seasons, with the final episode airing in the US on August 13, 2014. For his role, Wood received a nomination for the Satellite Award for Best Actor, Television Series Musical or Comedy in 2011. 56. In January 2011, it was confirmed that Wood had signed on to reprise the role of Frodo Baggins in The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, the first film of the Hobbit trilogy, directed again by Peter Jackson. 57. The film was released the following year and grossed over $1 billion at the worldwide box office. 58. Wood at the 2025 Sundance Film Festival. Wood featured in the Beastie Boys' 2011 music video for Make Some Noise, along with Seth Rogen and Danny McBride. 59. He then starred in the Flying Lotus music video Tiny Tortures, where he played a recent amputee coming to grips with his new situation. The psychedelic video was described as menacing and magical. 60. In 2012, Wood had a supporting role in the romantic comedy Celeste and Jesse Forever, and starred in the horror film Maniac, for which he received the Fangoria Chainsaw Award for Best Actor. 61. Maniac was mostly shot from a first-person point of view of Wood's character. 62. Wood played the leading role in the 2013 Hitchcockian suspense thriller Grand Piano. 63. He voiced Shay, one of two main characters in the adventure game Broken Age, for which he received the 2014 Performance in a Comedy Lead Award from National Academy of Video Game Trade Reviewers, NAVTR. 64. Next, Wood provided the voice of main character Wirt in Cartoon Network's animated miniseries Over the Garden Wall. 65. The series collected 3 Primetime Emmy Awards in 2015, including Outstanding Animated Program. 66. This was followed by prominent roles in films The Last Witch Hunter, 2015, opposite Vin Diesel, The Trust, 2016, opposite Nicolas Cage, and I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, 2017, opposite Melanie Linsky. The latter film was awarded the U.S. Dramatic Grand Jury Prize at Sundance in January 2017. 67. From 2016 to 2017, Wood co-starred with Samuel Barnett as Todd Brotzman in the BBC America series Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. It was announced in December 2017 that the show had not been renewed for a third season. 68. Wood provided the voice of Nick John Smith/Crystal Malik in Psychonauts 2. 69. In 2019, Wood starred as the musician Norval Greenwood in Ant Timpson's black comedy thriller Come to Daddy. 70. He both starred as Special Agent Bill Hagmay and helped to produce Amber Seeley's 2021 crime mystery No Man of God, based on the real-life story of Hagmay's relationship with serial killer Ted Bundy. 71. In 2023, Wood played the starring role of Fritz Garbinger in Macon Blair's superhero comedy horror movie The Toxic Avenger, one of a series. 72. In 2025, Wood voiced the adult voice of Wilbur in Charlotte's Web. Other activities. Wood during his 2010 visit to Chile, with First Lady Cecilia Morel. Wood appeared in the Cranberries music video for Ridiculous Thoughts and in Danko Jones' 3-piece series, Full of Regret, Had Enough, and I Think Bad Thoughts. 73-74. He also appeared in the Beastie Boys music video Make Some Noise. 75. On April 11, 2008, Wood was the guest host of Channel 4's Friday Night Project. On April 25, 2009, he was honored with the Midnight Award by the San Francisco International Film Festival as an American actor who has made outstanding contributions to independent and Hollywood cinema, and who brings striking intelligence, exemplary talent, and extraordinary depth of character to his roles. 76. Wood has become a well-known disc jockey. Together with his friend Zach Cowie, they formed Wooden Wisdom and have toured around the world. They have spun at events such as the Bushmills Live 2012 Festival at the Old Bushmills Distillery, the opening of the Brickell City Centre and at the pre-Emmy party at the London West Hollywood Hotel. 77. Wood signed up to co-produce and star in the film Black Wings Has My Angel, based on the noir novel of the same name, with Anthony Moody and Rob Makani of Indlo Productions. Wood, alongside Tom Hiddleston and Anna Paquin, was set start shooting in late 2012, but the production of the movie was delayed. 78. Wood, together with Sean Astin, Sean Bean, Orlando Bloom, Billy Boyd, Ian McKellen, Dominic Monaghan, Viggo Mortensen, Miranda Otto, John Rhys Davis, Andy Serkis, Liv Tyler, and Carl Urban, plus writer Philippa Boyens and director Peter Jackson on May 31, 2020, joined Josh Gad's YouTube series Reunited Apart, which reunites the cast of popular movies through video conferencing, and promotes donations to non-profit charities. 79. Business ventures. In 2005, Wood started his own record label called Simeon Records. On September 19, 2006, Wood announced that Simeon had signed the Apples in Stereo as their first band, with their new album New Magnetic Wonder released in February 2007. 80. In addition, he also directed the band's 2007 music video for Energy. 81. In 2010, Wood, together with Daniel Noah and Josh C. Waller, founded The Woodshed, a production company that promotes horror films. In 2013, the company was rebranded as Spectre Vision. 82. Personal life. Wood and his wife, the Danish film producer Mette Marie Kongsaved, have 2 children together, a son, B 2019, and a daughter, B 2022. 83-84. Wood has a tattoo of the Elvish Sindarin word 9, written in Tolkien's constructed script of Tengwar, below his waist on the right side. It refers to his character as one of the 9 members of the Fellowship of the Ring. 85. In May 2006, Wood was ranked at number 7 on Autograph Collector magazine's list of the 10 best Hollywood autograph signers. 86. On April 23, 2010, in a charitable gesture, Wood visited the Chilean town of Curepto, one of the hardest hit by the 8.8 magnitude earthquake that struck on February 27, 2010. He made personal visits to many of the victims and was accompanied by the First Lady of Chile, Cecilia Morel. 87-88. Wood participated in the 2011 Occupy Wall Street movement. 89. He was an active supporter of Bernie Sanders during the 2016 presidential election. 90. During a 2016 interview with the Sunday Times, Wood accused Hollywood of being organized by pedophiles who preyed on children within the industry, including many of his fellow child actors. Wood credited his mother with protecting him from these vipers and parties where that kind of thing was going on. 91. After the interview made international headlines, Wood clarified that he had no first-hand experience or observation of the topic and that his comments had been partly based on the documentary An Open Secret that he had seen. Robin McLaurin Williams, July 21, 1951 to August 11, 2014, was an American actor and comedian. Known for his improvisational skills 1-2 and the wide variety of characters he created spontaneously and portrayed in drama and comedy films 3-4, he is regarded as one of the greatest comedians of all time. 5-6-7. Williams received numerous accolades including an Academy Award, 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, and 6 Golden Globe Awards, as well as 5 Grammy Awards and 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards. He was awarded the Cecil B. DeMille Award in 2005. Born in Chicago, Williams began performing stand-up comedy in San Francisco and Los Angeles during the mid-1970s, and released several comedy albums including Reality. What a Concept in 1980. 8. He rose to fame playing the alien Mork in the ABC sitcom Mork and Mindy, 1978 to 1982. 9. Williams received his first leading film role in Popeye, 1980. He won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for Good Will Hunting, 1997. His other Oscar-nominated roles were for Good Morning, Vietnam, 1987, Dead Poets Society, 1989, and The Fisher King, 1991. Williams starred in the critically acclaimed dramas The World According to Garp, 1982, Moscow on the Hudson, 1984, Awakenings, 1990, Insomnia, 2002, 1 Hour Photo, 2002, and World's Greatest Dad, 2009. He also starred in Toys, 1992, The Birdcage, 1996, and Patch Adams, 1998, and family films such as Hook, 1991, Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, Jumanji, 1995, Jack, 1996, Flubber, 1997, RV, 2006, and The Night at the Museum series, 2006 to 2014. He provided voice work in the animated films Aladdin, 1992, Robots, 2005, Happy Feet, 2006, and Happy Feet 2, 2011. During his final years, Williams struggled with severe depression before his death from suicide in 2014 at his Paradise Cay, California, home at age 63. According to his widow, Williams had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and had been experiencing depression, anxiety, and increasing paranoia. 12 His autopsy found diffuse Lewy body disease, 1213, and Lewy body dementia. Professionals said his symptoms were consistent with dementia with Lewy bodies. 13 14 15 In the weeks following his suicide, Williams was celebrated in a wave of tributes. Early life and education. Robin McLaurin Williams was born at St. Luke's Hospital in Chicago, Illinois 16 on July 21, 1951. 17b His father, Robert Fitzgerald Williams, 1906 to 1987, was a senior executive in Ford's Lincoln Mercury division. 2021 His mother, Lori McLaurin, 1922 to 2001, was a former model from Jackson, Mississippi, whose great-grandfather was Mississippi Senator and Governor Anselm J. McLaurin. 22 Williams had two older half-brothers, a paternal half-brother, Robert, also known as Todd, 23, and a maternal half-brother, McLaurin. 24 While his mother was a practitioner of Christian Science, Williams was raised in his father's Episcopal faith. 25-26 During a television interview on Inside the Actors Studio in 2001, Williams credited his mother as an important early influence on his humor, and he tried to make her laugh to gain attention. 27. Williams attended public elementary school at Gordon Elementary School in Lake Forest and later Deer Path Junior High School. 28 He described himself as a quiet child who did not overcome his shyness until becoming involved with his high school drama department. 29 While friends recalled him as being very funny. 28 In late 1963, when Williams was 12, his father was transferred to Detroit. The family lived in a 40-room farmhouse on 20 acres, 8/20 in suburban Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, where Williams attended the private all-boys Detroit Country Day School. 28-30 He excelled academically, served as class president, and was on the school's wrestling team, but was also bullied for his weight and would play at home by himself. 31. With both parents working, Williams was partly raised by the family's maid, who was his main companion. When Williams was 16, his father took early retirement and the family moved to Tiburon, California. 20-32-33 Following their move, Williams attended Redwood High School in nearby Larkspur. Williams described the school as Gestalt. He went on to join the drama club, becoming involved in theater, which first helped foster his interest in arts and entertainment. 31 At the time of his graduation in 1969, he was voted most likely not to succeed and funniest by his classmates. 34 After high school graduation, Williams enrolled at Claremont Men's College in Claremont, California, to study political science. He dropped out to pursue acting. 20-35 Williams studied theater for 3 years at the College of Marin, a community college in Kentfield, California. According to the College of Marin's drama professor, James Dunn, the depth of the young actor's talent became evident when Williams was cast in the musical Oliver. As Fagin, he often improvised during his time in the drama program, leaving cast members in hysterics. 36 Dunn called his wife after one late rehearsal to tell her Williams was going to be something special. 36. In 1973, Williams attained a full scholarship to the Juilliard School, Group 6, 1973 to 1976, in New York City. He was one of 20 students accepted into the freshman class, and Williams and Christopher Reeve were the only two accepted by John Houseman for the school's advanced program that year. Williams's classmates included William Hurt and Mandy Patinkin. 37-38 According to biographer Jean Dorsenville, Franklin Seals and Williams were roommates at Juilliard. 39 Reeve recalled his first impression of Williams when they were new students at Juilliard. He wore tie-dyed shirts with tracksuit bottoms and talked a mile a minute. I'd never seen so much energy contained in one person. He was like an untied balloon that had been inflated and immediately released. I watched in awe as he virtually caromed off the walls of the classrooms and hallways. To say that he was on would be a major understatement. 38. Williams and Reeve had a class in dialects taught by Edith Skinner, whom Reeve said was one of the world's leading voice and speech teachers. According to Reeve, Skinner was bewildered by Williams and his ability to instantly perform in many different accents. 38. Their primary acting teacher was Michael Kahn, who was equally baffled by this human dynamo. 38 Williams already had a reputation for being funny, but Kahn criticized his antics as simple stand-up comedy. In a later production, Williams silenced his critics with his well-received performance as an old man in Tennessee Williams's Night of the Iguana. Reeve wrote, "He simply was the old man. I was astonished by his work and very grateful that fate had thrown us together." 38. The two remained close friends until Reeve's death in 2004. Their friendship was like brothers from another mother, according to Williams's son Zach. 40. During the summers of 1974 to 1976, Williams worked as a busboy at the Trident in Sausalito, California. 41 He left Juilliard 42-43 during his junior year in 1976, following Houseman's suggestion that the school had nothing more they could teach him. 37-44 Gerald Friedman, another of his teachers at Juilliard, called Williams a genius and that the school's conservative and classical style of training did not suit him. To those who knew him, it came as no surprise that Williams left. 45. Career 1976 to 1982, stand-up comedy and Mork and Mindy. Robin Williams stars as Mork on ABC Television's Mork and Mindy, 1978. Williams began performing stand-up comedy in the San Francisco Bay Area in 1976. 46 His first performance took place at the Holy City Zoo, a San Francisco comedy club where he worked his way up from tending bar. 47 During the 1960s, San Francisco had been a hub for rock music, the hippie movement, drugs, and a sexual revolution. By the late 1970s, Williams played a leading role in what critic Gerald Nachman described as the city's comedy renaissance. 6 Reflecting on that era, Williams said that he found out about drugs and happiness during that period, adding that he saw the best brains of my time turn to mud. 37 Williams moved to Los Angeles and continued performing stand-up at clubs, including the Comedy Store. There, in 1977, he was seen by television producer George Schlatter, who asked him to appear on a revival of his show Laugh-In. The show aired later that year and marked Williams' television debut. 37 That same year, he performed a show at the LA Improv for home box office. 48 Although the Laugh-In revival failed, it opened doors for Williams' television career. He continued performing stand-up at comedy clubs such as the Roxy to help keep his improvisational skills sharp. 37-49 Williams also took his act overseas and performed at the Fighting Cocks in London. 50. David Letterman, who knew Williams for nearly 40 years, recalled first seeing him perform as a newcomer at the Comedy Store in Hollywood. Letterman, already an established comedian at the time, described Williams' arrival as like a hurricane, saying that he thought to himself, "Holy crap, there goes my chance in show business." 51. Williams' first credited film role was a minor part in the 1977 low-budget comedy Can I Do It? Till I Need Glasses. However, his first starring performance was as the title character in Popeye, 1980, in which Williams showcased the acting skills previously demonstrated in his television work. The film's commercial disappointment was not blamed on his performance. 52-53. Mork and Mindy. Main article, Mork and Mindy. Photo by Michael Dressler, used as cover photo for Time, March 12, 1979. After the Laugh-In revival, and appearing in the cast of The Richard Pryor Show on NBC, Williams was cast by Gary Marshall as the alien Mork in the 1978 Happy Days episode My Favorite Orkin. 37-54. Sought after as a last-minute cast replacement for a departing actor, Williams impressed the producer with his quirky humor when he sat on his head when asked to take a seat for the audition. 55. As Mork, Williams improvised much of his dialogue and physical comedy, speaking in a high, nasal voice, and he made the most of the script. The cast and crew, as well as television network executives, were deeply impressed with Williams's performance. The executives moved quickly to sign Williams 4 days later before competitors could make their own offers. 56. Mork's appearance proved so popular with viewers that it led to the spin-off television sitcom Mork and Mindy, which co-starred Pam Dauber, and ran from 1978 to 1982. The show was written to accommodate his extreme improvisations in dialogue and behavior. Although he portrayed the same character as in Happy Days, the series was set in the present in Boulder, Colorado, instead of the late 1950s in Milwaukee. Mork and Mindy at its peak had a weekly audience of 60 million and was credited with turning Williams into a superstar. 37. Among young people, the show was very popular because Williams became a man and a child, buoyant, rubber-faced, an endless gusher of ideas, according to critic James Pony Wozik. 57. Williams with co-star Pam Dauber in a promotional photo for Mork and Mindy, 1978. Mork became popular, featured on posters, coloring books, lunchboxes, and other merchandise. 58. Mork and Mindy was such a success in its first season that Williams appeared on the March 12, 1979, cover of Time magazine. 59-60. The cover photo, taken by Michael Dressler in 1979, is said to have captured his different sides, the funny man mugging for the camera, and a sweet, more thoughtful pose that appears on a small TV he holds in his hands, according to Mary Forgione of the Los Angeles Times. 61. This photo was installed in the National Portrait Gallery in the Smithsonian Institution shortly after Williams died to allow visitors to pay their respects. 61. He also appeared on the cover of the August 23, 1979, issue of Rolling Stone, photographed by Richard Avedon. 62-63. With his success on Mork and Mindy, Williams began to reach a wider audience with his stand-up comedy, starting in the late 1970s and throughout the 1980s, including 3 HBO comedy specials, Off the Wall, 1978, An Evening with Robin Williams, 1983, and A Night at the Met, 1986. 64. Williams won a Grammy Award for Best Comedy Album for the recording of his 1979 live show at the Copacabana in New York City, Reality. What a Concept! 65. 1982 to 1999, film stardom and acclaim. Williams starred as the lead character in The World According to Garp, 1982, which he noted may have lacked a certain madness on screen, but it had a great core. 47. Critic Roger Ebert wrote of his performance, although Robin Williams plays Garp as a relatively plausible, sometimes ordinary person, the movie never seems bothered by the jarring contrast between his cheerful pluckiness and the anarchy around him. 66. Williams continued with other smaller roles in less successful films, such as The Survivors, 1983, and Club Paradise, 1986, although he said these roles did not help advance his film career. 47. Williams and Yola Zadarskaya at the 62nd Academy Awards in 1990. In 1986, Williams co-hosted the 58th Academy Awards. 67. The following year, he appeared in a sketch comedy special Carol, Carl, Whoopi, and Robin, 1987, acting alongside Carol Burnett, Carl Reiner, and Whoopi Goldberg. Williams was also a regular guest on various talk shows, including The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson 68 and Late Night with David Letterman, on which he appeared 50 times. 51. Williams's first major break came from his starring role in director Barry Levinson's Good Morning, Vietnam, 1987, which earned Williams a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actor. 54. The film is set in 1965 during the Vietnam War, with Williams playing the role of Adrian Cronauer, a radio shock jock who keeps troops entertained with comedy and sarcasm. Williams was allowed to play the role without a script, improvising most of his lines. Over the microphone, Williams created voice impressions of various people, including Walter Cronkite, Gomer Pyle, Elvis Presley, Mr. Ed, and Richard Nixon. 47. We just let the cameras roll, said producer Mark Johnson, and Williams managed to create something new for every single take. 69. Williams appeared opposite Steve Martin at Lincoln Center in an off-Broadway production of Waiting for Godot in 1988. 70-71. Many of his subsequent roles were in comedies tinged with pathos, such as Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, and Patch Adams, 1998. 72. Looking over most of Williams's filmography, one writer was struck by the breadth and radical diversity of most of the roles Williams portrayed. 73. In 1989, he played a private school English teacher in Dead Poets Society, which included a final, emotional scene that some critics said inspired a generation and became a part of pop culture. 74. Similarly, Williams's performance as a therapist in Good Will Hunting, 1997, deeply affected even some real therapists. 75. In Awakenings, 1990, he plays a doctor modeled after Oliver Sacks, who wrote the book on which the film is based. Sacks later said the way Williams's mind worked was a form of genius. In 1991, Williams played an adult Peter Pan in the film Hook, although he had said that he would have to lose 25 pounds for the role. 76. Terry Gilliam, who directed Williams in two of his films, The Fisher King, 1991, and The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, 1988, said in 1992 that Williams had the ability to go from manic to mad to tender and vulnerable. Williams had the most unique mind on the planet. There's nobody like him out there. 77. Williams in Washington, D.C., in 1998. While Williams voiced characters in several animated films, his voice role as the genie in the animated musical Aladdin, 1992, was written for Williams. The film's directors said that they had taken a risk by writing the role. 78. At first, Williams refused the role because it was a Disney movie and he did not want the studio profiting by selling merchandise based on the movie. Williams accepted the role with certain conditions. I'm doing it basically because I want to be part of this animation tradition. I want something for my children. One deal is, I just don't want to sell anything as in Burger King, as in toys, as in stuff. 79. Williams improvised much of his dialogue, recording approximately 30 hours of tape 20 and impersonated dozens of celebrities, including Ed Sullivan, Jack Nicholson, Robert De Niro, Groucho Marx, Rodney Dangerfield, William F. Buckley Jr., Peter Lorre, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Arsenio Hall. 80. Williams's role in Aladdin became one of his most recognized and best loved, and the film was the highest grossing of 1992. It won numerous awards, including a special Golden Globe Award for vocal work in a motion picture for Williams. His performance paved the way for other animated films to incorporate actors with more star power. 81 Williams was named a Disney legend in 2009. 82. Due to Disney breaking an agreement with Williams regarding the use of the genie in the advertising for Aladdin, he refused to sign for the direct-to-video sequel, The Return of Jafar, 1994. The genie was instead voiced by Dan Castellaneta. When Jeffrey Katzenberg was replaced by Joe Roth as Walt Disney Studios chairman, Roth organized a public apology to Williams. 83 He would, in turn, reprise the role in the second sequel, Aladdin and the King of Thieves, 1996. 84 During this time, Williams lent his voice to Ferngully, The Last Rainforest, 1992. Other dramatic performances by Williams include Moscow on the Hudson, 1984, What Dreams May Come, 1998, and Bicentennial Man, 1999. 85 During the early 2000s, Williams demonstrated a new rank of his versatility by playing darker roles than he had in the previous decades. Williams appeared with fellow comedian, Billy Crystal, in an unscripted cameo at the beginning of a 1997 episode of the third season of Friends. 86. Williams's performances garnered various accolades, including an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his performance in Good Will Hunting 54, as well as 2 previous Academy Award nominations, for Dead Poets Society, and as a troubled homeless man in The Fisher King, respectively. 54 Among the actors who helped Williams during his acting career, he credited Robert De Niro, from whom Williams learned the power of silence and economy of dialogue when acting. From Dustin Hoffman, with whom Williams co-starred in Hook, he learned to take on totally different character types, and to transform his characters by extreme preparation. Mike Medavoy, producer of Hook, told its director, Steven Spielberg, that he intentionally teamed up Hoffman and Williams for the film because he knew they wanted to work together, and that Williams welcomed the opportunity of working with Spielberg. 87 Having Woody Allen, who directed him and Billy Crystal in Deconstructing Harry, 1997, helped Williams. Allen knew that Crystal and Williams had often worked together on stage. 88. 2000 to 2014, Children's Films, Return to Television, and Final Years. Williams at a United Service Organization, USO, show on December 20, 2007. Williams at the USO World Gala in Washington, D.C., on October 1, 2008. Williams was the host of a talk show for Audible that aired in April 2000 and was only available on Audible's website. 89-90 In Insomnia, 2002, Williams portrayed a murderer on the run from a sleep-deprived Los Angeles police detective, played by Al Pacino, in rural Alaska. 91 That same year, in the psychological thriller 1 Hour Photo, Williams portrayed an emotionally disturbed photo development technician who becomes obsessed with a family for whom he has developed pictures for a long time. 92 In the 2004 science fiction psychological thriller The Final Cut, Williams played a professional who specializes in editing the memories of unsavory people into uncritical memorials that are played at funerals. His many television appearances included an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway, 93, and Williams starred in an episode of Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. He headlined his own one-man show, Robin Williams, live on Broadway, which played at the Broadway Theatre in July 2002. 94. Williams's stand-up work was a consistent thread throughout his career, as seen by the success of his one-man show, and subsequent DVD, Robin Williams, live on Broadway, 2002. In 2004, Williams was voted 13th on Comedy Central's list of 100 greatest stand-ups of all time. 2 years later, he was the surprise guest at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards 95 and appeared on an episode of Extreme Makeover, Home Edition that aired January 30th. 96 After a 6-year hiatus, in August 2008, Williams announced a new 26-city tour, Weapons of Self-Destruction. The tour began at the end of September 2009, and concluded in New York on December 3, and was the subject of an HBO special on December 8, 2009. 97. Williams at Aviano Air Base, Italy, on December 22, 2007. Years after the films, Janet Hirse Henson revealed in an interview that Williams had expressed interest in portraying Rubeus Hagrid in the Harry Potter film series, but was rejected by director Chris Columbus due to the British-only edict. 98. In 2006, Williams starred in 5 movies, including Man of the Year, a political satire, and The Night Listener, a thriller about a radio show host who realizes that a child with whom he has developed a friendship may not exist. 85. Williams continued to provide voices in other animated films, including Robots, 2005, the Happy Feet film franchise, 2006 to 2011, and an uncredited vocal performance in Everyone's Hero, 2006. He also voiced the holographic character Dr. No in the live-action film AI. Artificial Intelligence, 2001. Williams was the voice of the Timekeeper, a former attraction at the Walt Disney World Resort about a time-traveling robot who encounters Jules Verne and brings him to the future. 99. In 2010, Williams appeared in a sketch with Robert De Niro on Saturday Night Live, and in 2012, he guest-starred as himself in 2 FX series, Louie and Wilfred. 100. Williams made his Broadway acting debut in Rajiv Joseph's Bengal Tiger at the Baghdad Zoo, which opened at the Richard Rodgers Theatre March 31, 2011. For his performance, Williams was nominated for the Drama League Award for Outstanding Distinguished Performer. 101. In May 2013, CBS started a new series, The Crazy Ones, starring Williams. 102, which was cancelled after 1 season. 103. The Angriest Man in Brooklyn was his last movie to be released during his lifetime. In the movie, Williams played Henry Altman, an angry, bitter man who tries to change his life after being told he has a terminal illness. 104. 4 films starring Williams were released after his death in 2014, Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb, A Merry Friggin' Christmas, Boulevard, and Absolutely Anything. 105. Personal life. Marriages and children. Williams with Marcia Garces at the 61st Academy Awards in 1989. Williams married actress Valerie Vilardi in 1978, following a live-in relationship with comedian, writer, and actress Elaine Busselr. 106. Vilardi and Williams met in 1976 while he was working as a bartender at a San Francisco tavern. Their son, Zachary Pym, was born in 1983. 107. Vilardi and Williams were divorced in 1988. 108. While it was reported that Williams began an affair with Zachary's nanny, Marcia Garces, in 1986, 109. Vilardi stated in the 2018 documentary, Robin Williams, Come Inside My Mind, that the relationship with Garces began after the two had separated. 110. On April 30, 1989, Williams married Garces, who was 6 months pregnant with their first child. They had 2 children, Zelda Ray, born 1989, and Cody Allen, born 1991. In March 2008, Garces filed for divorce from Williams, citing irreconcilable differences. 111. 112. Their divorce was finalized in 2010. 113. In 2011, Williams married graphic designer Susan Schneider, and they remained married until his death. 113. 114. They lived at their house in Sea Cliff, San Francisco, California. 111. Williams said, "My children give me a great sense of wonder. Just to see them develop into these extraordinary human beings." 115. Interests. Williams at the BBC World Debate on February 27, 2008. In New York City, Williams was part of the West Side YMCA Runners Club and showed promising results with 34:21 minutes at a 10K run in Central Park in 1975. 116. His favorite novels were the Foundation trilogy, Foundation, 1951, Foundation and Empire, 1952, and Second Foundation, 1953, by Isaac Asimov. 117, and his favorite book as a child was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, 1950, which he later shared with his children. 118. Williams enjoyed pen and paper role-playing games and video games. 119. 120. 121. His daughter Zelda was named after Princess Zelda from The Legend of Zelda, a family favorite video game series, and Williams sometimes performed at consumer entertainment trade shows. 122. 123. 124. Williams was a fan of anime and collectible figures. His daughter described him as a figurine hoarder. One of his figures was the character D-Yunan nude from the 2004 anime film Appleseed, of which Williams was a fan. He also liked the 2004 anime film Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence. 125. 126. Williams became a devoted cycling enthusiast, having taken it up partly as a substitute for drugs. He accumulated a large bicycle collection and became a fan of professional road cycling, often traveling to racing events such as the Tour de France. 127. 128. In 2016, Williams' children donated 87 of his bicycles in support of the Challenged Athletes Foundation and Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation. 129. Religion. Williams was raised and sometimes identified himself as an Episcopalian. In a comedy routine, Williams described his denomination as, "I have that idea of Chicago Protestant, Episcopal Catholic light, half the religion, half the guilt." 130. He also described himself as an honorary Jew. 131. Philanthropy. In 1986, Williams teamed up with Whoopi Goldberg and Billy Crystal to establish Comic Relief USA. This annual HBO television benefit devoted to the homeless raised $80 million as of 2014. 132. Bob Zmuda, creator of Comic Relief, explains that Williams felt blessed because he came from a wealthy home, but wanted to do something to help those less fortunate. 133. Williams made benefit appearances to support literacy and women's rights, along with appearing at benefits for veterans. He was a regular on the USO circuit, where Williams traveled to 13 countries and performed to approximately 90,000 troops. 134. After his death, the USO thanked Williams for all he did for the men and women of our armed forces. 135. Williams and his second wife Marcia founded a philanthropic organization called the Windfall Foundation to raise money for many charities. In December 1999, he sang in French on the BBC-inspired music video of international celebrities doing a cover version of the Rolling Stones' 1974 single It's Only Rock and Roll, But I Like It, for the charity Children's Promise. 136. Williams at Naval Support Activity Bahrain on December 19, 2003. In response to the 2010 Canterbury earthquake, Williams donated all proceeds of his Weapons of Self-Destruction Christchurch performance to help rebuild the New Zealand city. Half the proceeds were donated to the Red Cross and half to the Mayoral Building Fund. 137. Williams performed with the USO for U.S. troops stationed in Iraq and Afghanistan. 138. For several years, Williams supported St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. 139. Substance abuse. During the late 1970s and early 1980s, Williams was addicted to cocaine. 54. 140. He was a casual friend of the Saturday Night Live comedian John Belushi 77 and partied with him the night before Belushi died of a drug overdose in 1982. The shock of Belushi's death, along with the birth of his son Zach, prompted Williams to get sober. Was it a wake-up call? Oh yeah, on a huge level. The grand jury helped, too. 54. Williams turned to exercise and cycling to help alleviate his depression after Belushi's death, According to the bicycle shop owner Tony Tom, Williams said cycling saved my life. 141, 142, 143. In 2003, Williams began abusing alcohol again during production of the film The Big White, 2005, in Alaska. 140 in 2006, he checked into a substance abuse rehabilitation center in Newberg, Oregon. 144 145 years later, Williams acknowledged his failure to maintain sobriety, but said that he never returned to using cocaine, saying in a 2010 interview, "Cocaine paranoid and impotent, what fun. There was no bit of me thinking, oh, let's go back to that. Useless conversations until midnight, waking up at dawn feeling like a vampire on a day pass." 146. In mid-2014, Williams was admitted to the Hazelden Foundation Addiction Treatment Center in Center City, Minnesota, again for alcoholism. 147. Health problems. In March 2009, Williams was hospitalized due to heart problems. He postponed his one-man tour for surgery to replace his aortic valve. 148. Repair his mitral valve and correct his irregular heartbeat. 149. The surgery was completed March 13, 2009, at the Cleveland Clinic. 150. Williams's publicist, Mara Buxbaum, commented that he had severe depression before his death. 151. His wife, Susan Schneider, said that in the period before his death, Williams had been sober but was diagnosed with early-stage Parkinson's disease, which he had not made public. 152. 153. An autopsy revealed that Williams had diffuse Lewy bodies, which had been misdiagnosed as Parkinson's, and this may have contributed to his depression. 154. 155. 156. In an essay published in the journal Neurology 2 years after his death, Schneider revealed that the pathology of Lewy body disease in Williams was described by several doctors as among the worst pathologies they had seen. She described the early symptoms of his disease as beginning in October 2013. Williams's initial condition included a sudden and prolonged spike in fear, anxiety, stress, and insomnia, which worsened in severity and included memory loss, paranoia, and delusions. According to Schneider, Robin was losing his mind and he was aware of it. He kept saying, "I just want to reboot my brain." 157. Death. Williams died in his Paradise Cay, California, home on August 11, 2014. 158. His primary cause of death was declared as suicide by hanging amid Lewy body dementia, LBD, and other associated factors. 159. 155. Describing the disease as the terrorist inside my husband's brain, Schneider said that however you look at it, the presence of Lewy bodies took his life, referring to his previous diagnosis of Parkinson's. 157. She noted how we as a culture don't have the vocabulary to discuss brain disease in the way we do about depression. Depression is a symptom of LBD and it's not about psychology, it's rooted in neurology. His brain was falling apart. 160. Medical experts had earlier struggled to determine a cause, and had eventually diagnosed him with Parkinson's disease. 157. The Lewy Body Dementia Association, LBDA, clarified the distinction between the term used in Williams's autopsy report, diffuse Lewy body dementia, which is more commonly called diffuse Lewy body disease, and refers to the underlying disease process, and the umbrella term, Lewy body dementia, which encompasses both Parkinson's disease dementia, PDD, and dementia with Lewy bodies, DLB. 13. According to LBDA spokesperson Dennis Dixon, the report confirms he experienced depression, anxiety, and paranoia, which may occur in either Parkinson's disease or dementia with Lewy bodies. In early PD, Lewy bodies are generally limited in distribution, but in DLB, the Lewy bodies are spread widely throughout the brain, as was the case with Robin Williams. 13. Ian G. McKeith, professor and researcher of Lewy body dementias, said that Williams's symptoms and autopsy findings were explained by DLB. 14 Williams's body was cremated at Monte's Chapel of the Hills in San Anselmo, and his ashes were scattered over San Francisco Bay on August 21, 2014. 161-162. Aftermath and tributes. Floral tributes to Williams at the San Francisco Pacific Heights home used for the filming of Mrs. Doubtfire, August 2014. After Williams's death was announced, media outlets published eulogies written by his family and associates, including Susan Schneider, Marcia Garces Williams, Zelda Williams 163 and Russell Brand. 164 Many other artists and celebrities offered public acknowledgements on social media. 165 President Barack Obama released a statement shortly after Williams's death. Robin Williams was an airman, a doctor, a genie, a nanny, a president, a professor, a Bangarang Peter Pan, and everything in between. He arrived in our lives as an alien, but he ended up touching every element of the human spirit. He made us laugh. He made us cry. He gave his immeasurable talent freely and generously to those who needed it most, from our troops stationed abroad to the marginalized on our own streets. 166. At the time of his death, Williams planned to appear as the blackmail special guest for the final night of Monty Python's 10-date stage shows in London with his friend Eric Idle, but cancelled, citing severe depression. 167. The show's home video release was dedicated to Williams. 167. During the opening of the International Youth Day at the United Nations headquarters, Assistant Secretary General Thomas Gass stood on the pulpit of the United Nations Economic and Social Council chamber and quoted one of Keating's lines from Dead Poets Society, "Dare to look at things in a different way." 168. Several fans paid tribute to Williams on social media with photo and video reenactments of Dead Poets Society's "Oh Captain, My Captain" scene. 169. Shortly after Williams's death, Disney Channel, Disney XD, and Disney Junior aired Aladdin commercial-free over the course of a week, with a dedicated drawing of the genie at the end of each airing before the credits. 170. In honor of his theater work, the lights of Broadway were darkened for the evening of August 14. 171. That night, the cast of the Aladdin musical joined the audience in a sing-along of "Friend Like Me," an Oscar-nominated song originally performed by Williams. 172. The Los Angeles Theater honors Williams on its marquee, August 2014. Fans of Williams created makeshift memorials at his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame 173 and at locations from his television and film career, such as the bench in Boston's Public Garden featured in Good Will Hunting 174, the Pacific Heights, San Francisco, home used in Mrs. Doubtfire 175, the sign for Parish Shoes in Keene, New Hampshire, where parts of Jumanji were filmed 176, and the Boulder, Colorado, home used for Mork and Mindy. 177. During the 66th Primetime Emmy Awards on August 25, Billy Crystal presented a tribute to Williams, referring to him as the brightest star in our comedy galaxy. Afterward, some of Williams's best comedy moments were shown, including his first The Tonight Show appearance, indicating his great life in making people laugh. 178. 179 talk show hosts, including David Letterman, Conan O'Brien, Seth Meyers, Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Fallon, paid tribute to Williams on their respective shows. 180. On September 9, 2014, PBS aired a one-hour special devoted to Williams's career. 181. Later that month, family members and celebrities paid tribute to his life and career in San Francisco. 182. British heavy metal band Iron Maiden dedicated a song to Williams, titled "Tears of a Clown," on their 2015 album The Book of Souls. The song looks into his depression and suicide, and how he attempted to hide his condition from the public. 183. A tunnel painted with a rainbow on Highway 101, north of the Golden Gate Bridge, was officially named the Robin Williams Tunnel on February 29, 2016. 184 in 2017, Sharon Meadow in San Francisco's Golden Gate Park, the home of the annual Comedy Day, was renamed Robin Williams Meadow. 185. In 2018, HBO produced a documentary about his life and career. Directed by Marina Zenovic, the film Robin Williams, Come Inside My Mind was also screened at the Sundance Film Festival. 186. That same year, a mural of Robin Williams was created on Market Street in San Francisco. 187. 188. Work on a biography was begun by the New York Times writer David Itzkoff in 2014. 189 and was published 4 years later, titled Robin. 190. In September 2020, Vertical Entertainment released a documentary titled Robin's Wish about Williams's battle with Lewy body dementia. 191. In May 2022, Williams was inducted into a Hall of Fame at the National Comedy Center in Jamestown, New York. 192. In 2025, the deceased Williams became the subject of a controversy over AI-generated videos in which his daughter, Zelda Williams, pleaded for people to stop sending her AI videos of her father, stating that's not what he would have wanted. 193. Recognition and legacy. You can't look at any modern comic and say, that's the descendant of Robin Williams, because it's not possible to be a Robin Williams rip-off. He raised the bar for what it's possible to do, and made an enormous amount of us want to be comedians. Judd Apatow. 194. Although Williams was first recognized as a stand-up comedian and television star, he became known for acting in film roles of substance and serious drama. Williams was considered a national treasure by many in the entertainment industry and by the public. 77. 195. Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Williams's on-stage energy and improvisational skill became a model for a new generation of stand-up comedians. Many comedians valued the way he worked highly personal issues into his comedy routines, especially his honesty about drug and alcohol addiction, along with depression. 196. According to media scholar Derek A. Burrell, because of the openness with which Williams spoke about his own life, probably the most important contribution he made to pop culture, across so many different media, was as Robin Williams the person. 196. Williams's Prince at Grauman's Chinese Theater. Williams created a signature free-form comedy persona so widely and uniquely identified that new comedians like Jim Carrey impersonated him. 197. Paving the way for the growing comedy scene that developed in San Francisco. Young comedians felt more liberated on stage by seeing his spontaneously diverse range, one moment acting as a bright, mischievous child, then as a wise philosopher or alien from outer space. 198. According to Judd Apatow, the eclectic performer's rapid-fire improvisational style was an inspiration as well as an influence for other comedians, but his talent was so extremely unusual no one else could possibly attempt to copy it. 194. Williams's film performances often influenced other actors, both in and out of the film industry. Director Chris Columbus, who directed him in Mrs. Doubtfire, says watching him work was a magical and special privilege. His performances were unlike anything any of us had ever seen, they came from some spiritual and otherworldly place. 199. Looking over most of Williams's filmography, Alyssa Rosenberg at The Washington Post was struck by the breadth and radical diversity of most of his roles, writing that Williams helped us grow up. 73. Comedic style. Williams said that, partly due to the stress of performing stand-up, he started using drugs and alcohol early in his career. He further said that he neither drank nor took drugs while on stage, but occasionally performed when hungover from the previous day. During the period when he was using cocaine, Williams said it made him paranoid when performing on stage. 77. Williams once described the life of stand-up comedians as follows. "It's a brutal field, man. They burn out. It takes its toll. Plus, the lifestyle, partying, drinking, drugs. If you're on the road, it's even more brutal. You gotta come back down to mellow your ass out, and then performing takes you back up. They flame out because it comes and goes. Suddenly they're hot, and then somebody else is hot. Sometimes they get very bitter. Sometimes they just give up. Sometimes they have a revival thing and they come back again. Sometimes they snap. The pressure kicks in. You become obsessed and then you lose that focus that you need." 8:34-35. Some, such as the critic Vincent Canby, were concerned that Williams's monologues were so intense that it seemed as though, at any minute, his creative process could reverse into a complete meltdown. 200 His biographer, Emily Herbert, described Williams's intense, utterly manic style of stand-up which sometimes defies analysis. Going beyond energetic, beyond frenetic. And sometimes dangerous, because of what it said about the creator's own mental state. 200. Regarding the quick-fire delivery of his performance, Williams said, "Usually, you start off performing in bars, where you can't really take your time, because people go, mimics a drunk person, oi, what are you doing now? So I developed a style that was very much synaptic, quick-firing, moving, so that they never really had a chance to lock on as a target." 201. Williams felt secure that he would not run out of ideas, as the constant change in world events would keep him supplied. 77 He also explained that he often used free association of ideas while improvising to keep the audience interested. 202 The competitive nature of the show made things difficult. For example, some comedians said that Williams had stolen their jokes, which he strongly denied. 77 203 204 David Brenner claimed that he confronted Williams's agent and threatened bodily harm if he heard him utter another one of his jokes. 205 206 Whoopi Goldberg defended Williams, asserting that it is difficult for comedians not to reuse another comedian's material, and that it is done all the time. 207 Subsequently, he avoided going to performances of other comedians to deter similar accusations. 207. During a Playboy interview in 1992, Williams was asked whether he ever feared losing his balance between his work and his life. He replied, "There's that fear if I felt like I was becoming not just dull but a rock, that I still couldn't speak, fire off or talk about things, if I'd start to worry or got too afraid to say something. If I stop trying, I get afraid." While he attributed the recent suicide of novelist Jerzy Kosinski to his fear of losing his creativity and sharpness, Williams felt that he could overcome those risks. For that, he credited his father for strengthening his self-confidence, telling him to never be afraid of talking about subjects which were important to him. 77. Influences. Williams credited comedians, including Jonathan Winters, Peter Sellers, Nichols and May, and Lenny Bruce as influences, admiring their ability to attract a more intellectual audience with a higher level of wit. 8:43 He also liked Jay Leno for his quickness in ad-libbing comedy routines, and Sid Caesar, whose acts he felt were precious. 77. Jonathan Winters was his idol early in life. Williams, aged 8, first saw him on television and paid him homage in interviews throughout his career. 8:259 208 Williams was inspired by Winters's ingenuity, saying that anything is possible, that anything is funny. He gave me the idea that it can be free form, that you can go in and out of things pretty easily. 8:260 During an interview in London in 2002, Williams told Michael Parkinson that Peter Sellers was an important influence, especially his multi-character roles in Doctor Strangelove, stating, "It doesn't get better than that." British comedy actors Dudley Moore and Peter Cook were also among his influences, Williams told Parkinson. 209. Williams was also influenced by Richard Pryor's fearless ability to talk about his personal life on stage, with subjects that included his use of drugs and alcohol, and Williams added those kinds of topics during his own performances. By bringing up such personal matters as a form of comedy, Williams told Parkinson that it was cheaper than therapy, and gave him a way to release his pent-up energy and emotions. 8. 121. Acting credits and accolades. Main articles, list of Robin Williams performances and list of awards and nominations received by Robin Williams. Throughout his career, Williams won numerous awards, including an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in Good Will Hunting, 1997. 210. He also won 6 Golden Globe Awards, including Best Actor Motion Picture Musical or Comedy for his roles in Good Morning, Vietnam, 1987, The Fisher King, 1991, and Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, along with the special Golden Globe Award for vocal work in a motion picture for his role Genie in Aladdin, 1992, and the Golden Globe Cecil B. DeMille Award in 2005. 211. Williams also received 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards, and 5 Grammy Awards. Benjamin Christopher Flores Jr. 1. Born July 24, 2002, also known as Bngi, formerly known as Lil Peanut, is an American rapper and actor. In music, he is known for his song You Might Be the One. In acting, Flores starred as Louis Preston on the Nickelodeon television series The Haunted Hathaways, 2013 to 2015, and as Triple G on the Nickelodeon series Game Shakers, 2015 to 2019. Life and career. Music. Flores was born Benjamin Christopher Flores Jr. on July 24, 2002 in Memphis, Tennessee. 3. Flores first came to wider notice after he was interviewed by the local Memphis Fox 13 television station at age 7. After that interview, he appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres Show, where he performed his first rap single as Lil Peanut, You Might Be the One for Me. 4. 5. It was released on September 25, 2010. He then appeared on Symphonique's song, All That. 3. His other raps include Bad Dream and Shuzin. Clarification needed. Acting. Flores appeared in an episode of the TBS sitcom Are We There Yet?, and played Atticus the Rapping Penguin in the animated film Happy Feet 2 in 2011. 4. 6. He made a cameo appearance in Yo Gotti's music video for Look in the Mirror. Flores appeared in the film Ride Along, which was released in January 2014. 3. In 2013, Flores was cast in a starring role on the Nickelodeon television series The Haunted Hathaways, playing Louis, a young ghost that resides in the same house with a living family called the Hathaways. 7. 8. The show ran 2 seasons before ending in 2015. He was nominated for Favorite TV Actor at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards in 2014 and 2015 for his role on The Haunted Hathaways. 9. 10. On July 7, 2015, it was announced that Flores would be co-starring in Dan Schneider's newest TV series, Game Shakers, playing the role of Triple G, the son of famous rapper Double G, Kel Mitchell. 11. The series was renewed for a 3rd season in November 2016. 12. On June 13, 2016, Flores was announced as the new voice of Gerald Johansson in the television movie Hey Arnold, The Jungle Movie. 13. In 2017, he had a role in the fantasy action film Transformers, The Last Night. 14. In 2018, Flores was cast in the Netflix film Rim of the World, which was released in May 2019. 15. In 2021, he starred as Josh in the Fear Street trilogy, beginning with Fear Street Part 1, 1994, the films were released on Netflix. 16-17. From 2020 to 2021, he also played Eugene Jones in the Showtime television series Your Honor alongside actors Bryan Cranston and Hunter Dewan. Lonnie Rashid Lynn, born March 13, 1972, known professionally as Common, formerly known as Common Sense, is an American rapper and actor. The recipient of 3 Grammy Awards, an Academy Award, a Primetime Emmy Award, and a Golden Globe Award, he signed with the independent label Relativity Records at the age of 20. The label released his first 3 studio albums, Can I Borrow a Dollar? 1992, Resurrection, 1994, and One Day It'll All Make Sense, 1997. He maintained an underground following into the late 1990s, and achieved mainstream success through his work with the black music collective Soulquarians. 2. After attaining a major label record deal, he released his 4th and 5th albums, Like Water for Chocolate, 2000, and Electric Circus, 2002, to continued acclaim and modest commercial response. 3. He guest performed on fellow Soulquarian, Erykah Badu's 2003 single, Love of My Life, an ode to hip-hop, which became his highest entry at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 and won Best R&B Song at the 45th Annual Grammy Awards. 4. He signed with fellow Chicago rapper Kanye West's record label Good Music, in a joint venture with Geffen Records to release his 6th and 7th albums Be, 2005, and Finding Forever, 2007, both were nominated for Best Rap Album Grammys, while the latter became his first to debut atop the Billboard 200 and contained the song Southside, featuring Kanye West, the recipient of Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group at the 50th Annual Grammy Awards. His 8th album, Universal Mind Control, 2008, was met with a critical decline and served as his final release with Good. Common's label imprint, Think Common Entertainment, was founded in 2011 and entered a joint venture with Warner Brothers Records to release his 9th album, The Dreamer / The Believer, 2011, and later No I.DSARTM Recordings, an imprint of Def Jam Recordings to release his 10th album, Nobody's Smiling, 2014. Both received critical praise and further discussed social issues in Black America. His 11th album, Black America Again, 2016, saw widespread critical acclaim and served as his final release on a major label. 5. Signing a contract with Loma Vista, he later released his 12th album Let Love, 2019, 13th album A Beautiful Revolution PT1, 2020, and 14th album A Beautiful Revolution PT2, 2021, to positive reviews. For collaborative effort, he worked with Kareem Riggins and Robert Glasper on the album August Green, 2018, under the supergroup of the same name, and with Pete Rock on the album The Auditorium Volume 1, 2024. Lin won the Academy Award for Best Original Song for his song Glory, with John Legend, which he released for the film Selma, 2014, wherein he co-starred as civil rights leader James Bevel. His other film roles include Smokin' Aces, 2006, Street Kings, 2008, American Gangster, 2007, Wanted, 2008, Date Night, 2010, Just Right, 2010, Happy Feet 2, 2011, Now You See Me, 2013, Run All Night, 2015, John Wick, Chapter 2, 2017, Smallfoot, 2018, Alice, 2022, and Fool's Paradise, 2023. In television, he starred as Elam Ferguson in AMC Western series Hell on Wheels from 2011 to 2014, and has played a supporting role in the Apple TV Plus science fiction series Silo since 2023. His song Letter to the Free was released for the Ava DuVernay-directed Netflix documentary 13th, 2017, for which he won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Original Music and Lyrics. He made his Broadway acting debut on the play Between Riverside and Crazy, 2023, which won a Pulitzer Prize for Drama. 7. Early life and education. Lonnie Rashid Lynn 8910 was born on March 13, 1972, at the Chicago Osteopathic Hospital in Chicago, Illinois. 11. He is the son of educator and former principal of John Hope College Preparatory High School, Mahalia and Hines. 12. And former ABBA basketball player turned youth counselor Lonnie Lynn. 13. Lynn shares the same first name as his father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and great-great-grandfather. 14. He is known by his middle name, Rashid, to his family and friends. 15. Lynn's godfather is basketball player Spencer Haywood, who was a teammate of his father on the Denver Rockets. 14. Lynn was raised in the Calumet Heights neighborhood. 16, 17, 18, 19. His father left the family because of his drug and alcohol addictions while Lynn was young. 14. When he was aged 2, Lynn's father attempted to take him and his mother to Seattle, where he had arranged a tryout with the Seattle Supersonics. 14. His father was arrested when the family stopped at a motel in Wisconsin and charged with false imprisonment. 20. Lynn's parents divorced in the late 1970s, resulting in his father moving to Denver, Colorado. 21. 13. This left Lynn to be raised by his mother. However, his father remained active in his life, and was able to get him a job as a ballboy with the Chicago Bulls when he was 11, also witnessing Michael Jordan's first professional exhibition game. 22. Lynn attended Florida A&M University, FAMU, for 2 years under a scholarship and majored in business administration. 23. In the School of Business and Industry. 24. Music career. Common's music has embraced several styles, including Midwestern hip-hop, neo-soul. 25. And progressive rap. 26. 1987 to 1996, career beginnings. Lynn began rapping in the late 1980s, while a student at Luther High School South in Chicago, when he, along with 2 of his friends, formed CDR, a rap trio that opened for acts such as NWA and Big Daddy Kane. 27. When C.D.R. dissolved by 1991, Lynn began a solo career under the stage name of Common Sense. 28. After being featured in the unsigned hype column of The Source magazine, he debuted as a solo artist in 1992 with the single Take It Easy, followed by the album Can I Borrow a Dollar? 29. 30, 31. With the 1994 release of Resurrection, Common Sense achieved a much larger degree of critical acclaim which extended beyond the Chicago music scene. Citation Needed. The album sold relatively well and received a strong positive reaction among alternative and underground hip-hop fans at the time. Resurrection was Common Sense's last album, produced almost entirely by his longtime production partner, No ID, who would later become a mentor to a young Kanye West. Citation Needed. In 1996, Common Sense appeared on the Red Hot Organization's compilation CD, America is Dying Slowly, AIDS, alongside Biz Markie, Wu-Tang Clan, and Fat Joe, among many other prominent hip-hop artists. Citation Needed. The CD, meant to raise awareness of the HIV/AIDS epidemic among African American men, was heralded as a masterpiece by The Source magazine. Citation Needed. He would later also contribute to the Red Hot Organization's Fela Kuti tribute album, Red Hot and Riot, in 2002. He collaborated with Jalimity Townkara on a remake of Kuti's track, Years of Tears and Sorrow. Citation Needed. Common performing with Mos Def in 1999. The song I Used to Love Her from Resurrection ignited a feud with West Coast rap group West Side Connection. The lyrics of the song criticized the path hip-hop music was taking, using a metaphor of a woman to convey hip-hop 32, and were interpreted by some as directing blame towards the popularity of West Coast gangsta rap. West Side Connection first responded with the 1995 song West Side Slaughterhouse, with the lyrics Used to Love Her, mad cause if * eat her. West Side Slaughterhouse also mentioned Common Sense by name, prompting the rapper to respond with the scathing Pete Rock-produced attack song The Bitch in You. Common Sense and West Side Connection continued to insult each other back and forth before finally meeting with Louis Farrakhan and setting aside their dispute. Following the popularity of Resurrection, Common Sense was sued by an Orange County-based reggae band with the same name, and was forced to shorten his moniker to simply Common. 33. 1996 to 1999, One Day It'll All Make Sense. Initially scheduled for an October 1996 release, Common released his third album, One Day It'll All Make Sense, in September 1997. The album took a total of 2 years to complete and included collaborations with artists such as Lauryn Hill, De La Soul, Q-Tip, Cannabis, Black Thought, Shantae Savage, and Questlove, a future fellow member of the Soulquarians outfit. The album, which made a point of eschewing any gangsterism, in response to questions about his musical integrity, was critically acclaimed and led to a major label contract with MCA Records. In addition to releasing One Day, Common's first child, daughter Amoyi Acidalin, was born shortly after the release of the album. As documented by hip-hop journalist Raquel Cepeda, in the liner notes for the album, this event had a profound spiritual and mental effect on Common and enabled him to grow musically while becoming more responsible as an artist. She writes, Rashid found out that he was going to become a daddy in about 8 months. Stunned and confused, Rashid had life-altering decisions to make with his girlfriend, Kim Jones. The situation led to the composition of his favorite cut on One Day, that offers a male slant on abortion. Retrospect for Life, produced by James Poyser and No ID featuring Lauryn Hill, who was due on the same day as Rashid's girlfriend, is the song that is the driving force behind the project. Rashid listens to Retrospect for Life today at the mastering session geeked as if it were for the first time. He tells me as we listen to El Boogie wail the chorus, when I listen to the song now, I think about how precious her, Amoyi's, life is. Common addresses family ethics several times on One Day, and the album sleeve is decorated with old family photos, illustrating the rapper's childhood, as well a quote from 1 Corinthians 13:11, which summarizes the path to manhood. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put childish ways behind me. 1999 to 2003, Soulquarians era. Common in New York City, 2003. Following One Day, Common signed a major label record deal with MCA Records and relocated from Chicago to New York City in 1999. He began recording almost exclusively with a loose collective of musicians and artists, dubbed the Soulquarians by central figure Questlove, throughout 1999, and made a few sporadic guest appearances on the Roots Things Fall Apart, and the Raucous Records compilation, Sound Bombing 2. In 2000, his fourth album, Like Water for Chocolate, was released to mass critical acclaim. Executive produced by Questlove and featuring significant contributions by J Dilla, who helmed every track except Cold Blooded, Ghetto Heaven Part 2, A Song for Acida, Pop's Rap Part 3, All My Children, and the DJ Premier produced track The Sixth Sense, Like Water for Chocolate transpired.